Welcome everybody to Pork and Reviews. I'm your host Pork, and of course I'm joined by the beautiful Lady Tano. How you doing, Lady Tano?
Good.
Good.
Yeah.
I know we got a bunch of new subscribers recently. So if you are new to the channel, just like to do some do a lot of reaction videos, particularly Star Wars. That's our thing. But we also do like to call attention to movies that we see at the theater that may be overlooked. And so what we want to do is we want to talk about today about Moonfall. I know everybody is going to go watch Jackass this weekend. So there's probably a lot of people that are not going to go watch Moonfall. And to be honest, you saw the trailer for that thing. I saw the trailer. You saw the trailer. I wasn't particularly excited about this movie leading into this week. It looked absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. The premise looked ridiculous. Everything looked ridiculous. Like, what are we doing here, Hollywood, right? So Lady Tano and I go and watch this movie today. And I have to say, I was absolutely entertained the entire 2 hour and 10 minute runtime of that movie.
He was like sitting at the edge of his seat,
Oh yeah.
like the last, like, I don't know, 45 minutes.
Yeah, I was all in. Like, like, I have to,
But you know what? You weren't the only one. I noticed that there were other people that were
yeah,
like that too.
It was that, okay, that movie was that engaging.
Yeah.
For 2 hours and 10 minutes, 2 hours and 10 minutes of just, like, just great entertainment. This movie's not going to win in the Oscars. I mean, special effects or maybe sound design, stuff like that. But in terms of like acting, directing, any of that stuff, this movie's not winning anything, right? But this movie was absolutely entertaining. Absolutely, I was hooked like 2 minutes into that movie.
Yeah. Me too.
Full transparency, like, I'm one of the people that I love Armageddon, so I love these type of movies like this. And this movie, as preposterous as it sounded, and it was absolutely preposterous. I'm sorry, it was over the top, just completely over the top. But it also, like, was exciting. Roland Emmerich, who's infamous or famous, depending on who you want to ask, for making these disaster films. He knows what he's doing, right? In addition to that, I'm gonna say one thing too, and I didn't bring this up earlier when we were talking in the car. It was refreshing to watch a movie that wasn't weighed down by franchise drama, franchise, like, all that weight that franchises carry. You go watch an MCU movie, you go watch a DC movie, you go watch Star Wars movie, and it's just, it's just weighed by all this canon. It takes it with it everywhere, and and I'm guilty of it. I'm so worried about how this movie affects my larger universe that I can't even really enjoy the movie for what it is. And I think we're all guilty of that as a fandom. What do you think?
Yeah. No, so I agree with you. It was, I guess in that sense, it was refreshing. I think any new movie that isn't a franchise will have that effect, if it's a good movie. But yeah, so I really enjoyed the movie. It surpassed my expectations. I was just going into the movie just thinking it was like, meh, like, we'll see, right? And so there were definitely some absurd aspects of the movie, but which I can get into later. But overall, I really liked it. Like, despite those absurdities, I thought that it was a really, really engaging and, like, entertaining movie. So, and I do like outer space movies. But no, it was fun. I had a lot of fun with that movie.
Yeah, all the actors, all the performers, everyone in the movie was likable. Everyone did their parts really well. Like I said, no one's winning any awards for this movie. No. But I mean, everyone was great. I felt John Bradley probably stole the movie.
Yeah.
He really stole the movie. He was really like the heart of this film.
Yeah.
So
totally.
I'm anxious to see this dude like do more stuff because like he was phenomenal. I
Yeah.
actually he was the best part of the
He
movie.
absolutely was.
In terms of like characters. If you liked him in Game of Thrones, I know we did. He's really good in this. He's hilarious. But he also brings a real heart, real like just emotion to the movie. He's like that kind of likable loser type. But like it. I walked out of that movie with just a big old grin on my face.
Yeah, for sure.
And like I said, between watching like our serious movies, I know we saw like Nightmare Alley last week. We saw Parallel Mothers last week as well. Those are just so they're dramatic and they carry a lot of weight and stuff. And I know everyone's like I said, everyone's gonna go watch Jackass.
I thought Nightmare Alley was
Alley's
fun, and it was a fantastic
it
movie, by the way.
Yeah.
If you haven't watched it, watch it.
Yeah,
but
watch it.
but no, yeah, this was a nice little change because we have been watching a lot of serious movies.
Yeah, serious stuff and then like franchise stuff.
And franchise.
Because it's always franchise stuff, and this one just really, it was refreshing and it was fun, and I can't emphasize it enough. I'm not saying to like knock the doors of your theater down to go watch this thing, but if you do get an opportunity to see it, whether it be streaming, whether it be on video, if you do get a chance to it, don't necessarily don't turn the channel. Like, give it a watch. It's totally worth a watch.
Yeah. So I am gonna address what I thought were shortcomings of the movie. So one, I thought that it was completely rushed. It's 2 hours and 10 minutes.
2 hours and 10 minutes, yeah.
But I think that it would have been better if it would have been like 2 hours 30 minutes. Now I understand why you think that's not a good idea, and I know that that's kind of long, sort of. But I really do think that it would have helped the storyline, and it would have helped the movie not feel so incredibly rushed. I feel like I could almost see where like a conversation was cut, or what that there was so much more that they actually recorded or filmed, but it was so much of it was cut, and so then it made certain situations within the movie really ridiculous because they were so unrealistic. It's just that they were just like reactions that real people would not have, and so that kind of took me out it didn't take me out of the movie, but it was super distracting for me because I was like, okay, this would not happen in real life. Like, I would have a way different reaction to this particular thing, but it was because there was so much going on.
But also, the moon isn't going to fall from the sky in real life.
Yeah, but you have to buy into the story, and it has to be
so
like realistic.
I was thinking about what you
enough.
I was thinking about this. What you're saying now. I was thinking about what Lady Tano we had talked about this on the car ride home, and I was thinking about what she was saying right now, and if you watch like Independence Day and you watch 2012. These are the big disaster films by Roland Emmerich. And you watch those films. They spend a lot of time in those movies, like in the in those cities, like the disaster cities that are being hit. Independence Day spend a lot of time in L.A. Where else I could think of other disaster movie? Like Armageddon, like, the big old, like, New York set piece in the beginning of the movie. Actually, this movie didn't really have that too much. Right? It didn't really spend a whole lot of time showing, like, rocks falling on, like, regular random folks trying to escape. You got them in, like, Armageddon. Remember, it was, like, everyone's running from the meteor shower happening. You had Mr. Cooper there.
Oh, that's right.
Being like, Saddam Hussein is bombing us. And all of those type of shots like were gone. When you did see the big destruction pieces happening, it was kind of like these wide shots of the events like sweeping over the city, versus like this kind of more personal from the ground level seeing this stuff. It kind of skimmed over that, and I'm wondering how much of that was the director's choice or Roland Emmerich's, specifically Roland Emmerich's choice, or how much of that was like maybe the studio being like, "Yo, you got to wrap this up in 2 hours. Like, we'll give you the we'll give you the fund that we'll fund this movie, but like."
I feel like it was originally like a 4-hour movie, and they had to cut it down to 2 hours.
Generally speaking, those movies are about 2.5.
Yeah,
they're usually about 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
And this one was, and that being said, I was okay with the 2 hour 10 minute wrap up. I understand that we're missing stuff. I understand we're missing a lot of like we might be missing a little more of that human element, that the empathetic element of this film, and I understand we absolutely are missing that. I'll be very clear here. Like, you get a lot of these big disaster movies, and you get these very like minute human moments that are just there to like pull at your heartstrings and make you feel sad, and like all of that was like not in this movie. It's like they took it all out, or maybe they never shot it, maybe they didn't write it. I don't know what the intentions were, but they weren't there.
I feel like the intentions were there. It was just so rushed and so quick that you didn't get a chance to really feel that way. For the most part,
I'd be curious if there's an extended cut, like whenever this comes out on
I would love to see that.
Probably more likely physical media, right, or something.
But
maybe there's an extended cut.
Despite those shortcomings and despite my criticisms, I think that for some reason, for me, I do like disaster movies, but I'm a little pickier about them because a movie like Armageddon, and I know I'm gonna get a lot of thumbs down because of this, but I like it, but I'm not like a huge fan because
be very careful with the next thing you say.
I know. No, I like that movie, but I'm not like such a huge fan because sometimes certain parts of it were so ridiculous, and so this movie had that.
More ridiculous, though. I feel like this movie was more ridiculous.
Okay, but that's the point that I'm gonna make. That I felt like this movie definitely had that, but for some reason, this movie for me was so much fun. Like I really liked it.
I know why.
Besides those, okay, it has its shortcomings, but like for me, it's like a small complaint. But overall, I really like the movie. I don't know. I could see past that and just.
I have a theory why you feel that way. I do. Like, hear me out. It's because of the length. Armageddon is infamously, and I say infamously because it's one of the biggest complaints of Armageddon. That movie clocks in at over 2.5 hours. Okay. Over 2.5 hours. This movie does not overstay its welcome. And I'm going to concede that. I love Armageddon. Armageddon is like, I know I'm going to get flack for this. Armageddon is like a top 10 entertaining movie of all time for me, like, personally. Like, it just came out at a time in my life where, I was probably about 13, 14 years old. So Armageddon came out at, like, the time in my life to like these, to get into something like that. And I loved Armageddon. But I will concede that the movie is long-winded. 2.5 hours of dudes drilling a hole in an asteroid and dropping a bomb in it. And because at the end of the day, that's what Armageddon is. I always joke with people who hate on Michael Bay. Like, Michael Bay is the worst director ever. I'm like, understand here. Michael Bay took a movie. He took a story about some dudes going up to space, drilling a hole in an asteroid to blow it up. And he made a 2.5 hour movie of that. And that movie was very entertaining. Hate on it all you want, haters. That movie's entertaining. If you didn't feel certain types of ways in that movie, like in some key scenes, I don't know how many people have not seen Armageddon. Like, something's wrong with you.
I didn't watch it when it came out.
You probably seen it the first time.
I was younger than you, so a little bit younger than you. So yeah. I think that might have been the first time I saw it. So, and I'm not trying to hate on it. I'm just trying to say it's not like my favorite movie. I'm actually more of an Independence Day girl.
Yeah, no, Independence Day is great.
More than Armageddon. I like when you compare it. But anyway.
But what's the runtime on Armageddon? On Independence Day?
I don't know.
Let's go find out.
But the point is that despite all of that, I still think that it would have been better to make it a little bit longer so that you could um, get a little bit more in depth
Yeah,
with some of these. Well, you see, okay,
2 hours
hours
and
25 minutes.
2 hours 25 minutes.
If this movie would have been 2 hours 25 minutes, I
So
think
if
a
this
lot
movie
of
would have
those
been 15
the
minutes longer,
criticisms
right?
that I had, 15 minutes, I think I wouldn't have felt that way. But anyway, I feel like I'm making it seem like I'm complaining a lot more about the movie than I actually feel. Like, you know, I like the movie. I think it was super fun. Like, like I haven't. Well, I don't want to say I haven't seen a movie like that or like that fun in a while, because I mean, we've watched a lot of movies, but it was just I enjoyed myself a lot.
I really think it was so much fun.
I was engaged from the minute 1 to the very end.
You know, I think it was.
I didn't get bored.
I really believe it was so much fun because it wasn't weighed down by all these expectations.
Probably,
you know?
because I went in thinking that I saw a bunch of reviews. I didn't read anything about the movie. I just saw like the overall reviews, and they were pretty low.
Yeah.
Like whatever the rating was.
I mean, is
right?
this
Either
a
like
movie?
X thumbs
Let's keep
up
it real.
or like
is this
ABC?
a movie? Is this a movie that Hollywood critics are gonna like?
Probably not. No.
Absolutely
Oh,
not.
Hollywood critics.
Hollywood
you mean like the cat? Oh no.
Not
no.
even okay. Even just like mainstream media critics. This type of movie that they're gonna like. Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
No, they like movies like Parallel Mothers, which was terrible.
Yes, and I am a huge Almodovar fan.
That movie. They will go.
But I was not happy with that
They'll go
movie
and circle
at all.
jerk. They'll go and circle jerk that movie.
Okay, I think we need another video to review that movie, because I have a lot to say about that.
But my point is, they'll come and they'll circle jerk a movie like that. But then a movie like this, they're gonna go in with the same mentality as us, right? But because like they have to write a review and they don't want to seem preposterous for enjoying a movie like this, they're gonna give it a shit review. You know?
Yeah.
Because I bet you,
maybe
to a point, they're gonna
don't like the movie.
To a point, they're gonna feel like that they're gonna ruin their credibility if they come out and say that they enjoyed this film.
That's true. That's true.
You know, and that's why I give it to who was it? I said
But if they're
I think it was The Verge. I think The Verge wrote a review on this, and it was like the movie is preposterous, but I wanted to see it again as soon as I walked out. And believe me, when I walked out of this movie, the first thing I was like, man, I'd watch it again.
Yeah.
I'd watch it again.
Me too.
Like, it was that good. Like, if I had a copy of it right now, I'd throw it on the background, just throw it on.
Yeah.
It was that entertaining.
Yeah.
Guys, I know this is going really long-winded. You know, we try to keep it as spoiler-free as possible. I don't think we need to get into spoilers right now, right? Yeah, you know, if you get a chance to watch this, like I said, you don't necessarily gotta rush to the theaters, right? I get that. Most of you guys are gonna go watch Jackass. Go watch Jackass, right? I get theater time in the days of COVID right now is a luxury time, you know, unless you have like the AMC Stubs thing like we do, and it's like, and that's the reason why we ended up in this theater, because I want to get my money's worth of what I'm paying for every month, so we go out of our way to go to the movies every week, you know, just to see something, and that's how we ended up in this movie. And it was worth it. It was worth my time.
Oh yeah,
absolutely worth
sure.
my time.
For sure.
You know, so guys, don't ignore this one. If you see it, like I said, streaming, if it just happens to fall in your lap, give it a shot, cause it was that entertaining. I was gonna say it was that good. It's a fun. It's a weird word.
I know. I was trying to avoid saying good.
Good's a weird word. It was that entertaining. I mean, it was that entertaining. Definitely and it is like a big thumbs up from me. Big thumbs up. I would give it this is gonna sound really crazy. I would give this movie 2 stars, right? But I would absolutely give this movie 2 thumbs up. If that makes any sense. If I had to sit there and be like, all right, let me check the pretentious movie list, right? Of course, I'm gonna sit there and be like, yeah, no, 2 stars, 1.5 stars, all day. But at the end of the day, what's a movie supposed to do? At the end of the day, why do we go there to watch movies? Do we go there to only watch heavy drama, something that means something? And then no. At the end of the day, I want to escape from the shit world that we live in for a couple hours. Right? Yep. At the end of the day, did I get that? Absolutely. Absolutely. right? I had to pay $20 to see this movie in theaters. It was worth it. So
It was fun.
yeah, so that's all we have for you guys today. If you like this video, you like our reviews, give this a like, thumbs up, share it if you can, or if you want to. Let us know if you did see Moonfall. I'm curious, what did you all think about it? Put it in the comments. I'm curious because I just want to get this discussion started on this one. What did people feel about this movie? Because my expectations were so low.
Me too.
I
think that's why we were so surprised by it and so happy. It's like, this is much better than what we thought it was gonna be. Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you all so much for watching. Like I said, like it, share it, comments, whatever you want. You all have a great evening, great weekend, and God bless.